Podcast. Hello.
Hey, Johnny.
Hi.
Oh, did we just talk over each other?
We did. Why don't you start again? Say
Okay.
it. Say, hey, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Guess what?
Chicken butt? No, I have no idea what.
We do not have a guest tonight.
We don't. No, we don't. No, this is
too bad for you, sad sons of bitches. You gotta listen to just us talk tonight.
Yeah. Just a little. I like how you said it earlier. You and I, when we were chatting, you said a little gab session. I said, "Yeah, man, that's what it's gonna be." Yeah. So yeah, we're taking a little break.
We haven't done this in a while. The last time we did was just a complete bitch fest. So
it was, yeah. We're taking a little break from the Wrestlers Lab stuff. We've been hitting the Wrestlers Lab stuff pretty hard, man, pretty consistently.
Right.
I'm assuming, I think, if all goes to plan, maybe next month we'll probably be back to our, hopefully our regular scheduled program. Maybe start to get back into our regular format again. Yeah, just been doing the Wrestlers Lab stuff. So I guess let's start off there with some plugs, maybe some Wrestlers Lab.
Plug it up.
Wrestlers Laboratory, Lab Normal. It's a show that everybody should be going to.
Harmon and
I are going to go
in Jersey,
Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. It's at the night of Columbus. It is a Sunday, July 8th. It's at 4 p.m. Harmon and myself, we will be there, and a whole lot of pretty awesome wrestlers are going to be there as well, putting on a pretty dope show. It's Wrestlers Laboratory's first standalone show, and it's going to be fantastic. I can already tell. There's so many people on this card, and there's some people who I've seen before, some people who I haven't, and I'm just excited to be a part of the whole thing. Did I mention we're a sponsor? We're a friggin' sponsor of the show. Boom, sponsor it up. So yeah, I'm pumped, man. It's gonna be cool. That's really it. We had Chris Henry on last week. We've had Isana on, Mike Gamble, King Leon the Sixth. I mean, we're getting all these guys who are on the show. So as you guys have heard, so it's pretty awesome. But taking a little break tonight. We're gonna talk a little WWE. We haven't in forever. It feels like. And yeah, you're right, man. Last time we did, it was like a complete bitch fest. But I feel like it's in a good spot right now. So, it's got peaks and valleys right now. I think it's climbing up that peak a little bit. It's doing really well right now. At least SmackDown is doing some pretty awesome things. And Raw's doing good. Raw's all right.
You know who else is doing awesome things? This weekend, June 24th, is the Live Prov Wrestling second annual Gansett Cup at Augie's Trailer Park.
I know, man. God, second annual. That's gonna be so cool. Yeah. I like it.
It is Sunday at 7 p.m. Augie's Trailer Park, 1155 Westminster Street, Providence, Rhode Island. Last year, this one got crazy. People were getting kicked in the face.
Yep.
JT Dunn and Josh Briggs fought in a laundromat.
That's nuts.
I mean, this is outside, and Narragansett gives them beer.
Narragansett.
So, yeah, it's the second annual Gansett Cup. It's the first one was one of the craziest. It's free, by the way. Did I mention it's free?
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's free. This will be the greatest free show that you go to.
Yeah.
Pretty much ever.
Dude, Live Prov is so fun. So fun.
I probably wouldn't bring your kids. Yeah, no. Probably not a kid. I mean, if you know your kid, I mean, go ahead. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but
right. Yeah. I can tell you what to do. I can tell you what to do. Don't bring your kid to this.
Don't bring your kids.
That's silly. That's silly. But no, if you like wrestling, and even if you don't like wrestling, I feel like Live Prov has like this sort of product that
it is all ages, 21 plus to drink. So
yeah. But I feel like if you're not like a hardcore wrestling fan, if you're not like a Smart Mark guy, you can just go and like have a good time, like a night out.
Right, because different. This is outside and you can stand as close to the ring as you'd like. So it's not like you're watching a wrestling event. You are part of the event.
Yeah, that's very
You are a stage piece here. So
Yeah, and
Go
I think
and be part of the second annual Gansett Cup at August Trailer Park. Is it Trailer Park? It just says Augie's now. Yeah, it does say Augie's Trailer Park. Okay.
I don't know.
So
I just think Live Prov has such a unique product, and that's like their selling point right there. Is like they're gonna give you good wrestling, but it's something for everybody.
Yeah,
and it's you can be part of it, and it's just really cool. I mean, I think the last time geez, it was a while ago. I went to a Live Prov show, but people are just like chopping wrestlers. Like fans are like, getting to like chop wrestlers and stuff. It's pretty. I think Josh Briggs took a bunch of chops by fans, but it was just crazy, man. It's such a good product. I love it. Man, July looks crazy. Now that we're talking about some wrestling shows, holy shit, July looks nuts.
Yeah.
So like I mentioned, obviously Lab Normal. Before that though, we've got Let's Wrestle on the 6th. It's up in Orono, Maine. The rebirth of Let's Wrestle. It's kind of like a branch of Limitless. On their podcast, they've kind of referred to it kind of as like a farm system. Just a bunch of guys that like, Randy has wanted to book, but maybe hasn't gotten a chance to on a Limitless card yet. But and then just people that they want to check out. It's just a really cool idea. And Orono is a good place for it. Since Limitless kind of left Orono and and kind of found their hub in Westbrook. Orono's kind of been left alone up there. So I think getting Let's Wrestle back up there, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really fun. You and I are going to head up there. We're going to have some fun. Our good buddy Dalton's going to tag along with us. That'll be a fun little road trip up there. And then speaking of Limitless, obviously we get the Vacation Land Cup on July 27th. That's at the end of the month at the Westbrook Armory per usual. And dude, I was excited about it before today, and then I saw Harry Aaron's like hype video for it.
Yeah.
Whew, my God. It gave me goosebumps, man. Just the whole way. I mean, Harry's amazing, but like the whole way it was put together was just awesome. It's just a great hype video. Not your typical hype video. It was very slow-mo, soft music.
Yeah. And there's also a cameo of Dijak's face.
Yes, there is. Taking a big boot from Briggs. So, man, I'm really hyped.
July is crazy, especially like that weekend of July 8th is nuts too, because there's also another show going on in New York. I think Josh Briggs is going to be there. There's another show in Providence at What 5 will be. What 6?
Yeah,
will be on the same day, July 8th.
Yep.
There's wrestling. We're just going to call it Independent Wrestling Weekend.
Dude, that weekend's gonna be nuts. That weekend's gonna be nuts. We're going to Orono for Let's Wrestle. Then we're driving out to then we're driving out to Jersey on Sunday for Lab Normal, and then we're coming back. I'm going to the WWE show in Augusta on Monday. It's a SmackDown show. I'm gonna be rolling on like just. Yeah, I'm gonna be probably like 3 5-hour energies deep by that point.
Your heart's gonna explode.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna take my kid up there. He's really into Shinsuke right now. Like he's gonna lose his mind when Shinsuke's music hits. It's gonna be nuts. And then I'm gonna drive back, and then I'm gonna have Tuesday to recuperate, which would be great. And then I'll record that week's podcast on Wednesday. And it's just gonna, it's just gonna flow, man. It's gonna flow. Wrestling's gonna flow out of my brain. It's gonna be crazy. Out of my pores.
How pumped is the Quinster gonna be to go see WWE?
It's his first WWE show, and it's gonna be very cool.
This is what he is going to tell people on future podcasts about. Oh, how did I get into wrestling? Well, my dad took me to this WWE show.
Yeah, when I was 5. Yeah.
Like I used to play with my wrestle buddies, but then we went to this show and boom, blew my mind. So
yeah, dude,
so that's why I'm world champ now.
That's why he's the world champ. Yeah, dude, he put on a match for me today. Although Sheamus got the better of him. He's got a Sheamus wrestle buddy. He can't beat Sheamus, which is mind-boggling to me. He beats Finn Balor. He beats Raphael from the Ninja Turtles. He beats all these guys. I don't know what it is about Sheamus. Sheamus though gets him. I don't know.
The Mohawk.
It's the Mohawk, right? I think it's it's not even the Mohawk. It's the old Sheamus where he had. Like,
I have that. But also here in my room.
Yeah, the thing inside of him doesn't work anymore though. When you like step on him, he usually says like something, in Irish. So
Oh, I don't know if mine talks. I don't think I've ever touched it. So
it goes like, but then he says something about, I'm gonna get you a fella or something like that. I don't know, but it definitely doesn't work anymore. But yeah, Sheamus gets him every match now. And I was like, come on, man, why can't you beat Sheamus? Let's go.
Come on, everybody beat Sheamus.
Everybody beat Sheamus. But anyway, yeah, it's just wrestling's crazy right now. So that's it for shows, really. Jesus Christ. Let's get into our normal plugs. You guys can check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Main Event Pod. We're on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio. We've got the hotline 929-260-3099. And we've got a Teespring store, which we should be, I promise you guys, I say this every week, but we will be having some tank tops up very soon. Previously mentioned Dalton Hemingway, our good pal. He designed up a really dope design, and it's in our possession now, and we're going to slap it on some tanks, and it's going to be fun. So it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about it to have you guys see it. So you guys can check out that on our Teespring store and buy a tank top. Let's see. Speaking of buying things, strongstylebrand.com/main event pod is the place to be. Go there, fill up your cart with just a ton of stuff. They've got a new summer line out that, man, it looks really cool. They've got some stuff in limited quantities, so act fast. Fill up your cart at checkout. Throw in code main event pod. You are going to get 10% off your entire purchase. You're welcome. That's from us. You're welcome. And if you do that, then it obviously helps us as well. A little bit of that gets kicked back our way. So it's a good way to support the podcast if you like us enough to do so. That's it. Those are the plugs. I know it was a little long on the plugs today, but man, we got so many cool shows that we want to tell you guys about that we're excited to attend and excited for people to see. So, shit, man, let's talk WWE. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with, did you watch any of the TakeOver event? TakeOver Chicago?
I did.
Yeah. I thought it was great, top to bottom.
Yeah, I think I missed. The only match I missed was the women's championship match. But I had seen bits and pieces of it, and I saw the very ending where Nikki Cross was smiling before she got choked out, which I thought was so badass, so cool.
Yeah, no, Nikki Cross. I mean, she's been on NXT for a while now, but this was like a showcase match. She really showed everybody how good she is. She's really, no, she lost, but she was completely insane. Her character was 110%. It was awesome.
Yeah she's fantastic.
The tag title match was great. It was hard hitting and it had plenty of action and intrigue and near falls, and I felt bad for our boys.
I did too. I kind of went into it thinking it's a long shot for them to get the titles just because Undisputed Era are so so hot right now. But man, I keep wanting to say Martin Stone, but Danny Burch and Oni, man, holy fuck, they brought it. It was jaw dropping. I couldn't believe that, it was probably their best match that was showcased on NXT, together as a team. It was just, it was nuts. It was a great match from beginning to end. It was awesome. It told a great story. Like I said, I thought it was probably unlikely that the title was gonna change hands, but there were certain times that I was like, holy fuck, they got it. This is it. And then, I think the kickouts or the interference from Adam Cole was so cunningly placed that I didn't see it coming. I was like, holy shit. Okay. That had me. I thought it was really good. What did you think of Ricochet and Velveteen Dream?
Velveteen Dream, for being as young as he is outstanding.
Yeah.
Ricochet is great. I didn't know how good he would be as a character, because Lucha Underground, he was under a mask, and I didn't really see a bunch of his New Japan stuff. He just seemed really flippy. but his character is great too. Those two guys are going to make money together for years to come.
Yeah. I think that I love the way that story was told. I know everybody's like losing their minds about Dream right now, and I am too. I think it's great. I think he is so good and like really just ahead of his time. And like you said, he's still so young, but he like gets it, you know?
Right.
And man,
like he wrestles a really good pace. Like it's not too super fast. He pauses a lot, like, and lets the tension build. You know, it's really good. Really, really good stuff. Yeah,
and for being like, he's a big dude too. For being like a guy his size, like he can really move. And I was a little worried about that. Like I thought that he might have he was going to get exposed with somebody like Ricochet.
He was fine.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, he hung in there and he did like some crazy shit. And I thought he was phenomenal. That was, man. I mean, if it wasn't for obviously Ciampa and Gargano, I mean, I think that would have been match of the night. Like I thought that match was just really, really good.
Yeah, no, it really was.
And speaking of Gargano and Ciampa, holy shit, I could watch those two guys wrestle forever.
Yeah, but that match, and pretty much every other match on this card, really overshadowed the championship match.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I didn't even mention the championship match. I didn't think it was that good. I mean, I thought it was okay. Lars is still pretty green. I think he did well in there, but you know, he's all right. There was definitely some goofs. There was
I don't get like he's this smart, strong guy, but there's nothing in his gear that reflects that. There's nothing in his entrance. He's just he looks like a mountain troll in red trunks.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Like there's it's not a complete package yet. It's like a half-assed fucking idea of a gimmick.
Yeah. And they'll figure it out. I think he's fine. I think, you know, he's just pretty good.
He's huge and he's definitely like a crazy athlete. I mean, his legs are the size of tree trunks.
I think he'll be fine. That match is okay. Again, there were some goofs. There was like a really blatant like whiff on the Black Mass kick that Black does. And like Lars kind of didn't know how to react, so he just kind of went down. I was like, whoa, that was like good 2 feet shy of connecting, but all right.
Yeah, and there was a rope spot too where Sullivan just like blew through.
Yeah,
line just completely like just walk right through it.
Yeah.
They were like, oh my god, he just went right through it. I was like, no, they were nowhere near the same page on that one.
Right. It's funny, but no, it's good. I thought it was a good filler opponent for Alistair. I think he's getting probably Ciampa next, I'm assuming, or I don't know what's going on next, but I think
Ciampa as champion he would need to be champion for a good long time, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Dude, but how fucking crazy was that match? Ciampa and Gargano. It was
insane.
It was like,
and like everything they did like early on, like came back later.
Yeah,
it worked. It was great.
Yeah, it was
one
like
of the best matches I've ever seen.
Same here, man. And I was like, and I make this comparison because I like recently just watched Lord of the Rings, but it was like that's what I could equate it to. It was like it was so long, but like everything seemed connected, and everything like it told this really great story, and like. It had like almost chapters, like because of the duration.
Like at one point, I thought Ciampa was just going to give up on beating Johnny. Like he knew he wasn't going to give up. He had his arm around him. They were walking up the ramp, and then he threw him into the wall. And I was like, man, he almost got me there. You know, I was ready to think that Ciampa was going to, call the match, and they were going to go back to being friends at that point. And then it just kept going. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, and like the whole thing like where he took his ring off and like spit on it, and like it was so much. It was so cool.
They both started with crutches.
Yep. And then like the whole thing where like just that crazy spot where Gargano like jumps off like the wherever they were, like onto that table.
Yeah, those boxes.
Yeah, and then like Ciampa has to get hauled off in a stretcher, and then Gargano like flips the switch and like goes back after him because he's like looking at his like ringless hand, and it's just like it's just crazy, man. It was such a good story, and I was floored. I was like glued. it takes a lot. I mean, as this is probably saying something about me, but it's like, I don't know, probably everybody is like this, but I mean, we kind of tinker around on our phones and we're like tweeting and stuff. I don't think I looked at my phone once during that match. It was just crazy. It was just
in a world of short attention spans where even I have learned, to be so.
right.
I mean, we're a little older. We didn't grow up with technology in our hands. Still, that like it was must see. Had to watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
it was as good as going to the movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a great way to put it, man. I like how you said that. That's perfect. Yeah. So
if you told me about that match and I'm a wrestling fan, I'd pay,
$9 to go see it.
$9 to go see that. See that match. To watch that match.
Yeah, for sure. And I liked how the ending was like, even though it was like so long of a match, the ending was like so abrupt. I felt like. Because you were just like, oh, Gargano's got this. He's gonna go 2-0 on Ciampa, and this is gonna be like, this will end this feud. I mean, Ciampa is handcuffed, for God's sakes. I mean, what more can he do? And then just like out of nowhere, Ciampa catches him and like spikes him with a DDT and like dunzo on the wood. Yeah, dunzo. I was like, holy shit, that just ended like that, and it's crazy. And now the series is split. So it's just a great story was told, and I feel like those guys could wrestle forever. I know, like, we've kind of made that comparison with like other superstars. I think with like Ambrose Rollins, but I mean, I think this is like Joker Batman right here. I think that just took the like the crown for being like not only feud of the year.
Their next match should be like in Kickboxer when they wrap their hands and dip their hands in glass. They should probably
just to the death. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Like this isn't only like feud of the year. I think it's just like feud of the decade, for God's sakes. Like, these guys are just nuts. It obviously will continue, and they'll at some point.
Like the dumbest thing would be to do like an Iron Man match where the most number of falls wins, because these guys fought for 40 minutes and there was only one fall.
Right.
If you're going to tell me they're going to have an 1 hour, Iron Man match, and somebody gets a fall within the first 3 seconds, I'm going to call bullshit and stop watching.
Yeah, right. Gargano like rolls up Ciampa. Come on, get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah. You got fought for an hour and it was close to getting pinned.
Yeah. Man. What else? Anything else going on in NXT? Probably not. That was about it.
No, nothing too much right now. I mean, everybody knows what already happened, but
yeah.
We'll skip it.
Yeah.
So let's go on to the Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Biggest takeaway from the show was Ronda Rousey.
Dude.
Oh my God.
So good, right? Holy shit.
She's still too fast. She's still too fast that I have to go, what the fuck did she just do? And I wait for the slow-mo to, slow it down to an appropriate speed where my eyes can catch up to what she's doing.
Yeah.
But her selling, her bumping, Nia Jax was amazing in this match. She was selling, and her facial expressions were perfect. This match was a great women's match, right? I'll tell you right now, this was one of the top women's matches I've seen. And for Ronda Rousey to be only in her first, singles match on TV for the championship, and it was that good. Oh my God, it was amazing.
It's crazy, right? Like it's crazy to see her adapt so well. Like, because we all had those doubts, right? Not really like
everybody. I did. I mean, I did. I'm raising my hand. I did. I thought she's going to be awkward and fall on her face, but her facial expressions during that match, and just the little things she did, like she was like on the ground and Nia was sitting down, like sitting up, and she like took a kick at her, just little things like that. They were like, oh, that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was a great match. I thought Ronda did great. I thought Nia looked really good. She looked really strong. And that judo throw was nuts from Ronda. And like you said, man, she sold really well. I mean, she'll work on her promo skills, and that will obviously come. But I think, like, I don't think anybody was really worried about her athleticism. It was just her pro wrestling, because MMA and pro wrestling are two just very different things. And so, like you said, we were all kind of worried about like her selling and like how her reactions were going to be, and if she was just like awkward in the ring. I think once the physicality of it kicks in, it kicks in for her, and it like this switch flips, and she can tune out everything, and she can just go.
And I think people forget that she's done, fight scenes in movies too. So she's had, stunt training. She knows how to throw a punch and make it look, devastating, but not touch the person.
Right,
or not hurt them.
No, that's a good point, man. I didn't even think about that.
What she did on Raw the next night was, it was the coolest thing since Stone Cold drove a truck into the ring.
Yeah, it was pretty
awesome.
Yeah, she just stormed down there and like tossed Kurt Angle on his ass, and then just beat the shit out of Alexa Bliss.
When Alexa went to go swing at her with the case, and she dropped down to one knee and just blasted her in the gut. I was like, that was beautiful.
That was great, right? My only bitch about that whole scene had nothing to do with any of the performers. I thought everybody did great. It was just the fucking cuts in that scene. If you go back and watch that, I mean, it's like it's like 42 jump cuts. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. Like, who is doing that? Like, my God, it's who
in the back has the sense of mind to go, camera 2, camera 12, camera 4, camera 6, boom, 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 boom,
Yeah, just let it happen.
Just stay on it.
Yeah, every time, and I don't know if it was because.
How do you like her high angle power bomb there?
Yeah, that was worrying me when she was up in the air, because I was like, ooh, I was like, the angle looks like Alexa's gonna land right on her head, and then she pulled it off. It was fun. Yeah. It was good. It was all right. So, she likes throwing people through tables. She's like in her young career already. She's throwing her through a table, a Triple H. Like, I like it. The Dudleys would be proud. So, but yeah, man. Geez, what else? What do you think of just the men's Money in the Bank? What do you think about Braun?
I thought it was good. I liked how they buried Strowman at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then, like, later on, Finn went to go grab a ladder, and he's, like, walking out of the ring with it, like, got a ladder. And all of a sudden, a hand comes out and grabs it, and he's like, falls over because his momentum stopped.
There's a monster down there. Right. Yeah, I thought
Kevin Owens, like, trying to get everybody to fight, against him. Yes. And then him and Samoa Joe working together with, Bobby Roode, and it failed miserably. I think I texted you, like, well, Kevin Owens is dead.
Yeah, he always takes a beating in these ladder matches.
He does. I mean, this one he had higher fall, but I think he's taken a worse beating on the ladders the previous 2 years.
Yeah,
He didn't have to get spiked onto a ladder too many times. I mean, him and Sami Zayn were like trying to break each other's spines last year.
Yeah,
I think the worst ladder spot came from Sasha Banks. She landed flat on her spine, right on the edge of a ladder, and it looked painful. She had all kinds of tape on her back Monday night.
Yeah. Oh man, we were talking about Ronda and we didn't even mention, but I mean, Alexa cashing in same night. That's pretty interesting.
Pretty awesome.
I thought it was. I the idea of it, like, before it happened, I was like, I don't know, like, because she can talk so well and she can tease like these cash in. I thought that would be like a good play for her, but I don't know. And then when she did it, I was like, yeah, all right, I'm cool with it. That's fine,
Yeah, but when she has the belt, she has the mic time, and she has the champion's advantage where she can just bail on a match.
Yeah,
she's untouchable. She's
right.
That belt, makes her a better wrestler by 20%.
Right. And I guess I'm a little disappointed because, like, I mean, I don't mind that happened, but then I would have liked to seen somebody on the men's side win the briefcase that was going to do something like that was going to like tease it and kind of draw it out. Braun just doesn't seem like the guy.
I think the consensus was everybody wanted the Miz to win it.
Yeah, and I mean, me and the Miz, I'm probably like the last guy to root for the Miz, but
you have come around on the Miz.
I have. I was definitely into him winning it. Either him or KO, I thought would be. I thought they were the two best choices to win it, just because they can do everything that I just said. Like they can tease the cash in, they can talk smack about it, they can really draw a crowd in and say, "Oh shit, he's gonna cash in." No, he's not. Like stuff like that. With Braun, it's just.
And with Braun being like the super over monster, he's not really a baby face.
Yeah.
I mean, he is like booking wise, but his character isn't. I mean, it's hard for a straight up baby face to be the Money in the Bank champion. Daniel Bryan was, and it was. I mean, to cash it in, you have to be a heel, really. Unless
right.
you sign the contract and schedule a match, you know?
No, I totally agree. And that's why I was like, I was kind of a little bummed that Braun won it, even though I'm a Braun fan. I was just kind of like, I mean, he doesn't need it. You know, he's my point. My point with this is that like he could probably just be booked in a match with Brock, and it's believable that he could beat Brock for the belt. I mean, like he doesn't need to like have the
before though.
He has, yeah, but I mean, he's so over right now, and I don't know what's going on with Brock and like the UFC. I mean, I don't know what the hell's going to happen with Brock. I could honestly care less. Like it's just I would like to see the Universal Championship on someone else other than Brock, and I wouldn't mind Braun, but I just don't think Braun needs to cash in on him. He's not going to do it like in a sneaky, conniving way because that's kind of not really Braun's style. He doesn't need that advantage, I guess is what I'm trying to say. He doesn't need the advantage of sneakily like cashing in on the briefcase.
Try to find an opportunity to sneak in and cash in on Brock while he's like down and hurt. It's going to be pretty hard to do.
Well, or when he's around, because he's never around.
I mean, scare him during elk hunting season or something, but
that's right. That'd be hilarious. Like Braun's out there, like dressed like an elk, like just to try and just to get some FaceTime with Brock. That's very funny.
He's out there in a ghillie suit during hunting season.
Yeah. Oh, here you are. Well, because you don't show up for work, I have to come to you.
Can you put that shotgun down?
Maybe after Brock gets fucking KO'd in the UFC, like Braun can come out and get him and cash in. That'd be the only way. God. But yeah, I don't know, man. That was that.
You had a mysterious person dressed as Asuka come out during the Asuka
Ellsworth.
Yeah, it was the Carmella match there. And it was Ellsworth. Yeah,
Ellsworth. Which here's my deal with Ellsworth too. I didn't hate him before. I thought he served a purpose, but I think he just like hung around for too long. And then he went away, and that's great. I don't think that we really need to bring him back because it looks bad for Carmella that she can't she can't defend this belt. Right. And she I feel bad that her two greatest accomplishments, getting the Money in the Bank, like winning that Money in the Bank ladder match, and then defeating Asuka, defending her championship against Asuka, will always be linked to James Ellsworth. Always. That will go down in history. And I hate that because I don't mind Carmella. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Carmella as a wrestler.
I liked James Ellsworth before he was Carmella's lapdog.
Right. The whole thing, and you can tell
when he was oblivious to the fact that he was a loser, and he was out there, telling AJ Styles, "Well, I've beat you twice," thinking that he actually had a shot. That was the James Ellsworth everybody liked.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just some weird, they didn't know what to do with him. They had him under contract, and they were just like, I don't know what to do with this guy. But, jeez. You can tell that she really doesn't want to with him.
When he first came in, he was almost like Eugene, you trying to treat him like he was a little bit special.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah. But you could just see on her face too that she's like, oh God, I just don't want to be working with this guy, and it's awkward. Speaking of guys that she doesn't want to work with or really have anything to do with, Big Cass is gone. See you later.
Yeah. Has a match with Daniel Bryan, loses, taps out, and is gone the next day.
Yeah, let's talk about Big Cass for a minute. Why do you think it failed? There's all kinds of speculation of why they let him go. Some of it's bullshit. Some of I read some of it today, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
He was a problem in the locker room. He was rowdy and drinking, or there was all kinds of different things.
Yeah, the two things
I think that if there was a problem with him and Carmella, if they they were together there for a while. I don't know if something happened there, and maybe they're like, well, let's, Carmella's doing great, and we'll get rid of this guy who's obviously causing problems. He had that match on Raw, was it SmackDown, where he, beat up the little person or whatever, and I guess they didn't want him to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'd heard some whispers about that too, that he kind of went off script, and But I don't know. I've heard stuff too that he's like kind of a loudmouth and nowhere near Enzo, but he just can't like keep his mouth shut out back. And there's something to do with like they were on a bus or something, and he like broke a door off a bathroom because he thought somebody locked him in there. He thought it was a rib, but I guess the bathroom door is just like broken or something, and he like just like broke the door off its hinges. And so like there was that, and like people had to like use the bathroom like without a door. And I don't know. I read that today and I'm like, that sounds like bullshit to me. And like there was like a drunken public scene where I guess, he was just a little tipsy somewhere. And I'm like, again, that's like bullshit. I mean, you get Jeff Hardy, having DUIs and, he's still employed. You get the Usos having DUIs. I mean, I'm not saying that that's right or anything, but I'm just saying like, there's got to be a level playing field. I think at some point they were just like, okay, this guy's just kind of a dickhead, and he has issues with Carmella, and like this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened. Okay, enough's enough. Like let's just cut our losses here.
Yeah, I mean he wrestled like a less talented Test. I mean,
yeah,
his charisma completely went away when Enzo did. I mean, because Enzo was pretty much like the fuel for his fire, and his fire went fucking out.
Yeah, and I just don't think he was a good heel. I think he was much better as a face. I mean, I think. I mean, I don't know. Like he just had like this shitty looking grin on his face as a heel, and it wasn't really believable. And I just like no one took a liking to him, and he just wasn't very marketable alone.
No.
And then I think too, like he's very limited in the ring. And when you have guys like in NXT that are going to be debuting probably within the next couple of years. I mean, you got like Dijak down there who is, essentially his size, but can actually do crazy shit. And you have some other
is an actual athlete,
right? You have, right. And you have other guys who are big men who can do like just crazy stuff. I mean, you have, like the War Raiders down there. Those are two houses. You get like Heavy Machinery. Those are guys that are. I mean, these are all like big guys that could all fill that big man role, and it's like Cass is just kind of doing big boots and really
Lars
nothing
Sullivan.
else. Yeah, Lars Sullivan. Yeah, we talked about him earlier. Lars is down there. I mean, you have this whole crop of new big men.
I think you also have to take into effect that he got hurt too. He was on the shelf for a while, and then there was rumors he might have been hurt again, whether it was work or shoot or whatever.
Yeah.
It's one thing to take Seth Rollins or Finn Balor and maybe change the way they do things a little bit so they don't get hurt as much because they're so over and super talented.
Yeah.
But when you got a guy who's kind of like middling to okay in the ring and on the mic and with the crowd getting hurt a lot, just cut your losses and go.
Yeah.
He for him leaving instead of like, he didn't even get future endeavored, which is weird.
It's weird. Yeah.
But he can take this and he can go and do indie shows if he wants for the next, 5 years, just on the fact that he was in the WWE.
Right. But if he's not a complete dickhead, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like if he's just showing up these indie shows with like a huge chip on his shoulder and like acting like a cock, then no one's gonna book him. But I mean, I hope that's not the case, because I want success for everybody, if they're good people. And I don't know. Like I never really saw anything like bad about him, or really even heard anything like that drastically bad. It's just like they just kind of a loudmouth, and he got drunk in public one time, which I mean, haven't we all? But so who knows? But who knows? I
heard that after Money in the Bank, Paige was leaving and like got pie faced by a fan. Like somebody like pushed her on the head and told her to lose a bunch of weight.
What? Oh my god!
And then she posted like an Instagram story of her like shoveling food in her face at a restaurant. She's like, "No, I think I'm all set."
Dude, she looks great. Like, oh fuck that. Oh my god!
So, fans, keep your fucking hands and your fucking opinions to yourself, huh?
Yeah.
Just because you paid for a ticket doesn't mean you get to say whatever bullshit you want.
Yeah, that's a big pet peeve of mine, is when dudes like they feel like, I paid a ticket, I'm sitting here, I can say whatever I want, and I can do whatever I want. No, you can't, dude. Like, oh, freedom of speech, go fuck yourself. Like if you're like assaulting someone or just like verbally assaulting someone, or just saying like super racist shit or like super homophobic shit, or just like fat shaming someone, like you're a fucking dickhead.
Yeah. Or if you're like, oh, she's so fucking hot, I could fucking
Dude,
Oh my God.
that drives me crazy. That shit drives me crazy too. Like these wrestling groups too, which I know you and I have been like cutting way back on. I am not
think I'm
part
in
of
one.
I think
one and I don't even participate.
I think I'm in one and it's run very good. I think it's actually Bradford the Barber runs it.
That's the one I'm in and I barely participate.
Yeah, but it's like good because it's like I think
I haven't heard anything bad in that group whatsoever.
yeah, it's like I mean like we're all just a bunch of smart marks and like whatever. But like we're not I don't know, nothing drives me crazier. It used to drive me crazier than like some schmo like posting Daily Diva, and it's just like one of the female wrestlers like scantily
nude pictures,
or just like scantily clad, like, oh man, I would do this to her. I'm like, oh my god, dude, you got to get out of your mom's basement. Get the fuck out of here. Cut it out. Oh, sorry. That's right. Yeah, my bad. But anyway, what else is going on? Holy shit, Rusev getting a push right now. Rusev Day.
Love it.
I love it too. It's so good. He looked so happy when he got that win. So happy. I loved it. He won the gauntlet match on SmackDown. And dude, that match was really good. That whole scene was great. It told a lot of different stories. It kind of rekindled the Daniel Bryan Miz thing. It had Big E versus Daniel Bryan in the first encounter, which I thought really showed Big E in a really good light, like that he can hang. Because I really want good things to happen for Big E.
I do too. For like all of New Day, like I remember it was like 2 years ago. I wanted New Day to hold I want them to hold titles, all of them.
Yeah.
They got to have tag titles, and one guy could be a singles champion, or there could be 2 or 3 singles champions in there. Back when it was before the brand split. I thought one guy can be U.S. champ, one guy can be Intercontinental champ, one guy can be, world champ.
Yeah, like I want a New Day to never break up because I think that they're so fun, but I also want them to succeed as individuals. And I think, like you just said, I think that they can do both. I think one guy can, be the IC champ or be
kind of like Undisputed Era. They're tag team champions, but they also have the North American champion,
Exactly. And I'm always curious why they don't transition things from NXT to the main roster well. Not only just superstars, but like ideas like that, I think the last time that happened on the main roster, it might have happened since then, but I just might not remember. But I remember. No, the Shield did it. Like Ambrose was U.S. champ and Reigns and Rollins were the tag champs at the same time.
I was thinking like singles championships. Like Shawn Michaels was world champ.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Triple H was European champ. The
or vice versa
were tag champs. I mean, they had like all the titles.
Yeah. Somebody was the IC champ. Somebody was the European champion. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, China was IC champ at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, the gauntlet match was really cool. I
got to be honest, when it first started, I was like, oh, Daniel Bryan's going to win this thing from the start. And not that I don't want Daniel Bryan to do good things. I just don't want him to be like, have a rocket up his ass.
Right. Well, I don't think they have, though. I mean, Jesus Christ, they gave him like a feud with Big Cass. I mean, it's like
I know, but I didn't want them to go from sorry we made you feud with Big Cass to JJ Styles,
Yeah. Which I mean,
because there are other guys that I've wanted to see for a while now, and it sucks for Daniel Bryan that he couldn't wrestle for those 2 years, but there are other guys that have worked their asses off and haven't gotten opportunities, and Rusev is one of them, and Big E is one of them. And Kofi is one of them. I mean, none of those guys have had a championship title shot,
Right. Dude, I agree with you. I'm like the biggest Daniel Bryan fan, that. But I'm right there with you, man. I think it's slow but steady. It's a bummer he missed those years, but you got to climb back up the ladder. I think he's having fun right now, and I'm having fun watching him.
I think he's having a little too much fun. Please stop landing on your head.
I know.
Big E slammed him down too on his shoulder one time, and I thought he grabbed his shoulder pretty hard. I was like, I mean, sure, he's a world-class seller, but still, for a guy who's had shoulder, neck, head injuries, stop landing on those body parts, please.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I know.
Did you see Big E do that tackle off the rope
Yes.
to the outside, I thought he murdered him.
I know. That always looks brutal anyway, but yeah, it looked especially bad this time around.
I know, but usually the guy's not standing on the rope when Big E goes through them.
Yeah. Jesus. I love.
I bet you he is fucking sore today.
Yeah, besides like the diving headbutts, off top ropes, I really do like the way Daniel Bryan has been wrestling lately. Like, I like that he'll just like submit you from anywhere. I love that. I love that that's like his game plan, is that he's just like, I'm a tap out machine and I'm gonna like just lock you up in something and tap you out, and that's my whole gimmick right now. I think that's fantastic. Like, if I was
a wrestler, him and Samoa Joe were great because they were both just going from submission to submission to submission to submission. It was like, this is gonna go on forever. This is gonna be like a waterfall.
Yeah, dude, SmackDown's roster right now is so good. I think they're by far, hands down, better than Raw's roster. Like from a wrestler perspective, like if you want to like in match quality.
Yeah, I think with their 2-hour format and they have a slightly smaller roster, that they can almost tell more stories, if that makes sense. Because they're having to, because they're not putting out the same stories every week, Right. They're kind of going, I don't know. You ever watch soap operas with your mom as a kid? Like they didn't tell the same story every day.
It was with my meme, but yes.
Okay. There might be a whole show where somebody who was a main character yesterday isn't on the show.
Right. Yeah.
And that's how it was back when, we were kids. I mean, Randy Savage wasn't on every episode of, Superstars.
Right. Yep. No, exactly. I've mentioned this before, and you and I have talked about this at length before. Is like, I think that was part of the recipe, and that was why Superstars got over so well back then. Like, especially Hulk Hogan. I mean, you didn't see Hulk Hogan every week. He wasn't crammed down your throat like Roman Reigns every single week. Like, maybe he did like a pre-recorded vignette, and then maybe he squashed Dino Bravo, and then you wouldn't see him for 2 weeks. You'd see Jake the Snake or Macho Man like be in the main event, and then you'd see the Hulkster 2 weeks later or something. And that when you saw him, you were excited to see him because you haven't seen him in 2 weeks. But I think
the way they book shit now, we're going to see Rusev versus AJ Styles 3 times before that.
Yeah. It's really strange.
I would like them to, if 2 wrestlers are going to have a match at a pay-per-view, they do not even share the same space.
Right. Exactly. No, I'm right there with you, man. Not that they don't wrestle.
Like, I would have Rusev, wrestle people and continue this thing going on with Aiden English, where Aiden English, did the hand slide there to AJ.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. Yeah, because like that seemed very strange because Rusev seems to be sliding more towards like a face kind of character.
And I think he was so overjoyed to get the opportunity, and you could generally see it on his face.
Oh yeah, he was super pumped.
AJ, being the upstanding individual that he is right now, was putting the hand out there and was happy for Rusev to be his opponent. He earned it.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a good match. And Aiden English just being
a dink.
Yeah.
But you'd see like AJ pops him one, and Rusev is kind of like, I thought like Rusev was going to attack AJ, and I'm like, oh, classic.
But he didn't.
And that's what stood out to me. And I was like, okay, they're trying to make Rusev more of a face. I mean, he's kind of like a betweener right now, but he's definitely more face now than he was when they started this little Rusev Day group thing. Because it's so over, I think it's inevitable that it's going to be a crowd favorite, and that he's going to be a face.
But with this Aiden English thing that's probably going to happen, this is going to be the end of Rusev Day.
Right. So they're kind of stuck right now where they want to go with that. But I'm really pumped about Rusev getting a shot, and I hope it's just not like a one-time thing. I mean, he's probably not going to take the belt off of AJ, but I hope that they have a really good match, and maybe they lead it into.
I kind of had an inkling about it because he beat Samoa Joe like the week before.
Yeah,
or was it 2 weeks ago? He beat Samoa Joe, and I was like, that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, like that's a big win. Yeah. Yeah, maybe they'll just end it at Extreme Rules, but
he beat Samoa Joe to get into Money in the Bank, right?
I think so. I can't remember how it all went together, but maybe they'll continue it into SummerSlam. I don't know. I think that they probably have a bigger opponent set up for AJ for SummerSlam, but I don't know. Like maybe they're just testing the waters. If they put on a really good match at Extreme Rules, like maybe they'll continue to roll the ball with Rusev, which I would like. I like Rusev a lot. But who knows? Chances are they'll probably squash it, and Rusev and Aiden English will probably feud or something, which sucks.
Yeah.
But
you had Sasha Banks was in the women's Money in the Bank match. She didn't win. Monday Night Raw, she was teaming with Bayley, and they lost to the Riot Squad, and they fought like out back.
Like so many different times. It was so awkward.
They're the best frenemies ever.
I just don't get it.
Like they want to help each other and then they hate each other, and it's kind of getting a little old.
The ship has definitely sailed.
Yeah, they missed the boat on this a while ago.
Yeah. I feel like this angle has been happening for like a year, and it's just by the time they actually have like a payoff match, it's going to be too late. Like the match will be great, but it's just so awkward right now. Like it just kept happening. Like Bayley would go up to her and be like, "I'm not done with you," and then they'd fight, and then like Bayley would like get on the losing end of it, and then like the next time they'd cut to commercial, it'd be like she'd come back, "Hey, I'm not done with you." I'm like, "Are we just doing this again? Like, what's happening here? What's going on?" It's really strange. So I don't know. I'm not really interested in that angle at all right now. The match will probably be good, but again, it'll never recreate their match in NXT, I don't think. And I don't know. I think Bayley's been on the downswing big time. I think Sasha has been too. I mean, I don't get it with her. Like they just don't seem to like her for some reason. I don't know why they don't push her. I don't get it. I really don't.
I think it has a little something to do because she wrestles a very like hard and aggressive style. She's going to be hurt a lot, and she's not a very big person. You know? She doesn't have the frame to withstand that many injuries.
Yeah. You know? No, I mean, it makes sense. It's just, I don't know. I think that they're just like really focused on other talent right now. Like obviously, Charlotte and Becky and the SmackDown roster.
The SmackDown roster is ridiculous.
SmackDown women's roster right now is crazy good. And even like the women who like can't wrestle all that good, like the Iconics, definitely have like some work to do in the ring. But they are so, I think their shtick is so good. It cracks me up. Like, I think what they do on the mic is awesome.
That corny, like mean girl bullshit, they're pulling it off to such a degree that, I mean, people legitimately hate their guts.
Yeah.
I mean, good job.
Yeah. And like their in-ring work isn't like unwatchable. It's just obviously not up to the level that like Becky is and Charlotte, obviously,
right? And it's stuff. So. I mean, they've been there a while too. I mean, they've been in the system for more than a cup of coffee here. So
right,
they're not horrible. They're not Eva Marie bad here. I mean,
right?
No way. They're more like Carmella when she first came up.
Right. Yeah, they just have some work to do. But I think in the meantime, like you keep those girls in the mic, and it is money. Like they are. Their merch sells well. Like they're good. I think that they're good people to have around. I wanted to touch on this. Rollins losing the IC belt. That came out of nowhere. Holy shit.
Yeah. Finally, that candle was burning at both ends, and it met in the middle, I think.
It sure did. Yeah. Ooh, I didn't see that coming. It's rare that
I did not either.
It's rare that a title changes hands on a Raw nowadays, and it
wasn't underhanded either. It's not like McIntyre did anything,
right? Yeah, I mean there was some tights pulling, but I mean that's I think it's funny because Rollins did that to Elias. He did the tights right at Money in the Bank, and kind of won. So then like Ziggler kind of returned the favor and did the tights pulling this time around. It's neat. I like it. I love, how I feel about Ziggs. I love Ziggs. And I do like this whole McIntyre team teaming with as well. I think that's very cool. I think it's a little predictable, and I hope this doesn't happen.
People keep posting pictures of Shawn Michaels and Diesel.
Well, and that's the predictable thing about it is that eventually McIntyre is going to turn on Ziggler, and like he'll just squash Ziggs, and then McIntyre will probably go on to be world champ, and Ziggler will stay where he is,
and then go to WCW and start the Wolfpack.
That's true. Yes, all that. But I don't know.
That was 20 years ago. Kids don't know that shit.
No, yeah. What is this? What is this? No.
I've seen these NWO shirts before. They're usually on middle-aged men.
Yes, yeah, balding middle-aged men. Yes, but no, man, that's really cool that Ziggs is the IC champ again. Hopefully, they have plans for it because I feel like the last 3 times he had it, they didn't really do anything with him, and then he lost it. Like, you know, he'd either lose it abruptly to like Miz or Wade Barrett or something. I don't know. It's just like they kind of toss that thing around.
I'd like to think of Ziggler as Prince of the mid card. Yeah. He's not king because the Miz is the king of the mid card.
Yes, exactly. And I don't know what this means for Rollins either. I would like to think it means good things, like a promotion, like he would be moving up to the main event again, because he really has been putting in the work, man. He's been doing really great things and kind of holding that side of the company together, that brand. He's been like their workhorse, and we'll see. I mean, I
think if he's going to stay a babyface here on Raw, he's going to have to start being responsible for getting on the heels for just ruling the roost right now. I mean, you got like Baron Corbin is like in a role of power.
Constable Corbin.
Yeah,
I love it. I think it's great.
If you think about it, like pretty much like the bad guys are ruling Raw right now, and there's no like strong babyface presence to like keep them in line and like keep them in check. They're pretty much running amok.
Yeah, like Finn's around, but Finn doesn't do shit anymore.
No, he's like all googly eyed over Braun Strowman right now.
Yes, my buddy Finn. Ugh, that was so weird when he said that. Like he said, like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah, 3 weeks ago you were crushing an apple in his face.
Yeah, what are you now? You guys are buddies all of a sudden. Jeez. Somebody posted a picture. It said like, remember Braun's other buddy, and it was like him walking by Neville, and I was like, holy shit, yeah, what's Neville been doing? What has he been doing? Where is Neville?
I don't know. I miss him so much.
I do too.
The guy was legitimately like one of the top 10 greatest wrestlers I've ever seen.
He's been gone forever. Oh, yeah. God.
Like one of the best in-ring talents I've ever seen.
But like, what is he doing?
Doing anything.
Like,
I think
has anybody even ever seen him?
I think the WWE has suspended his contract, which means he can't do anything until they come to a resolution on what's going to happen.
Oh my God. But like, you got to think like he loves wrestling, right? Like he wants to
wrestle anywhere else without facing penalty from the WWE for breaching contract.
Right. But I'm saying like, come on, Neville, get your shit together. Like do something. Like it's been forever.
I know. So it's what, October of last year or something like that?
Yeah. Sure. That sounds about right. It's just literally been
like I've heard rumors like where they were talking and then like talks broke down and Neville walked away from the talks because shit wasn't going his way. But I think them trying to put him on 205 Live was a mistake.
Yeah,
too big of a talent. Way 205 Live, I'm finding I don't watch enough of it, and I want to see some of the guys on there, but with it being on the network and after SmackDown, I don't watch it.
Yeah. I mean, we have the same gripe about 205 Live that everybody does, I think. And it's the same one that we always say. It's like, you got to integrate these guys into the show.
They're too pigeonholed.
Yeah, you can't have them on their own show.
And I feel like a hypocrite for saying it because I was like, create a 205-pound division. But I didn't want it to be
out on its own
island of lepers,
Right. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Man.
Like, they're not even doing cruiserweight matches on Raw anymore, it seems like.
No, they're just, I don't know what they're doing, but I don't know.
Oh my God. If you turn the first hour of Raw into the cruiserweight hour, it would be fantastic.
It would be Monday Nitro.
Yes.
I
still think that was the greatest formula for a Monday night show ever.
It was great. It got you invested. It got you up on your feet. It started you off with just like an awesome match every single time. Be like Hoovy versus Rey Mysterio. Okay. Awesome. You
Right.
know?
You know, I never would have known who Psychosis was if,
Right.
the first hour of Nitro didn't happen.
Right. Right.
All right. So we've talked Takeover, Money in the Bank, Raw, SmackDown. Let's wrap this up with
Yes.
our thoughts on Big Van Vader, Leon White, passing away.
I know, right? Man, I know. I was bummed to hear that he passed today.
I know. I thought he was going to pull through this, but I guess he had pneumonia after his open heart surgery.
Yeah.
And it was just too much.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's been, he's been sick for a while. Like I can't remember when it was, but it seemed like a long time ago that he said, that his doctor gave him like a year to live. I feel like he lived past that prognosis, but it just, I don't know, man. Vader was he was always like this larger than life character growing up. Like when I was a kid watching wrestling, he was just always there, whether I was watching WCW or WWF. He was there at a time when like everybody had a character, you know what I mean? Like there was like there was the British Bulldog, and there was like Yokozuna, and then there was Vader, and he just seemed very different. He didn't seem, he was a character, but he seemed, he wasn't like the British guy. He wasn't the sumo guy. He wasn't like the trash guy. Like he seemed like something that was super unique and super just very cool. The mastodon, the thing, like the big helmet.
He was
cool.
He was the thing that went fucking bumping the fucking dark alley. You did not want to mess with Vader.
No, he terrified me as a kid. Like that was good. Like as an adult looking back at it, I'm like, thank you. Like I needed to be terrified of pro wrestlers.
I'm pretty sure my dad watched with me one day and said, I wouldn't want to mess with that guy. And as a child, you think your father is Superman. And if he says he doesn't want to mess with that guy's a bad man.
Right, exactly.
And that was Vader to me. He was just scary big. He threw those giant like looping punches. The Vader bomb.
Yeah, and then he was like super athletic. Like he could do a moonsault, like, which I thought was nuts as like a big guy. Yeah. And like I don't know, and he just seemed like I feel like he was one of those few guys too that I saw like outside of his character. Like, I was
just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And you heard him talk, and he talked intelligently.
Yeah.
And he was, I think the best example of that is his cameos on Boy Meets World.
Yeah, like as funny and like, people like kind of, I don't know, bring it up a lot as like a joke, but like, no, that's a great point, man. Like, he wasn't just like the guy screaming as a, like, that's what a pro wrestler does. Like he could speak and like, he could speak intelligently, and he could, and he could show like affection as like a human being, and he could kind of separate himself from, this character, Big Van Vader, and then Leon White. Like I thought it was very cool. And it was probably one of the first times, and probably one of the few times as a kid seeing stuff like that, seeing the curtain kind of pulled back a little bit. They go like, oh, holy shit. Like these guys aren't all just like monsters, like these guys are actually.
Yeah. This guy doesn't run around punching people in the face and screaming at children.
Right. Right. I will still say though, man, still to this day, one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life was when he got his eye socket broken by Stan Hansen.
Yeah, and then just pushed it back in.
He just pushed his eyeball back in and continued the match. I remember
his Japan stuff was just, that stuff wasn't wrestling. It was like a mix between a shoot fight and entertainment. Yeah, and it might have been a little more shoot than.
Yeah, I know. He was so loved in Japan too. Like that's the funny thing is like people always think like, oh, like he didn't get a good push here, and like sometimes I think that he didn't. I think that he got screwed out of a lot of like with the backstage politics with Shawn Michaels and stuff. Like they had their incident, and and he was like a really sensitive guy, and so like there were a lot of things that kind of went down that kind of stopped his pushes. But like he was always super marketable in Japan. Like if WWF didn't work out or WCW didn't work, he could always go back to Japan. And when he did, he was huge. He got massive pops. There was definitely, a demand for Vader over in Japan.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know, man. He was always one of my favorites growing up. well, he was one of my favorites looking back at it. Like growing up, he terrified me as a child, but like looking back at it, like I said earlier, I was just like, man, like what a good heel. What a good heel. I thought he was fantastic. So I'm happy though that he's at peace and he's not suffering anymore, because it seemed like the last couple of years were really, really tough on him. He was very vocal about it through Twitter and stuff. But it's so funny too, because I just wore my Vader shirt yesterday too, which is really strange. It's funny how things work out like that. Like I
have 2 white shirts, and I had a 50-50 shot of wearing it today, and I ended up wearing my my Beard is War shirt instead.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man. R.I.P. Vader. He was the man. So, well, geez, man, we're ending the podcast on a sour note, but. That's it.
It's not a sour note. It's in remembrance.
It's in remembrance. Yeah. So that's it, man. That's the show. I'm glad that we talked WWE. We hadn't in a while. I'm glad I got a lot of stuff off my chest that I've been kind of harboring with my thoughts on WWE. And I mean, probably there's probably more I could have talked. There's people we didn't even touch on. You know, we didn't touch on like we didn't talk like Charlotte or Becky Lynch. I mean, there's all kinds of people. Shinsuke, we barely talked about Shinsuke, but I don't know. Another podcast, maybe somewhere down the line. Maybe if we do this again sometime.
We were just kind of skipping over the top there, Johnny. We can get into deeper storylines if you want next week.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. I think we might be diving back into some Wrestlers Lab next week. I don't know. We'll see. But Harmon, where can our fine listeners find you on social media?
They can find me at Harmon316 on Twitter and at Bub Harmon on Instagram. I don't do anything on Instagram except retweet the show stuff. So
there you go.
Hey, go and see what I like. I guess that's what you do, right?
I think so.
I mean, prepare yourself, but go ahead and go do what I like.
I can only wait. Now I want to go do that. It's great. You guys could.
You've never done that? Gone to like see what people are liking? You're like, oh, that dog.
Yeah, you're like, look at this perv. You guys could check us out as a show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Main Event Pod. I'm on Twitter at Johnny Fashion. We're on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio. We got the hotline 929-260-3099. And we got the Teespring store, which will have some new tank tops up very, very shortly. Big shout out to our boy Dalton Hemingway for giving us a dope ass design. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be very cool. And damn, man, that's it. Harmon, thanks for joining me, buddy. As always.
It was a good chat.
Man.
Good gab session.
little gab sesh, little master gab sesh. I love it. Listeners at home, thanks for listening. We'll catch you later.
Summer's finally here.
Talking about wrestling from the day in the past. It's gonna be a blast. Jonny and Harmon are the Main Event Podcast.
Klondike bar.
Oh my god. All right. We'll hang out. We're live eating a Klondike bar. That's fine. We'll just wait.
Go to hell, Johnny.
We'll wait, I guess. We'll wait for you to eat a Klondike bar. Double chocolate?
What would you do? This is dark chocolate, actually.
Ooh, dark chocolate. Is it chocolate ice cream and then the chocolate shell?
No, this one is just vanilla ice cream with dark chocolate shell.
You say this one like you've had numerous.
This is the second one, yes. The first one was double chocolate. This one was dark chocolate.
You're a maniac. Unbelievable.